The moment I stepped through the doorway, my grandfather's voice sliced down the hall. Why did you come in a taxi? What happened to the BMW we gave you? I froze mid-step. I tried to speak, but my mother's smile cut clean across whatever answer I was about to give. That car is with her sister now, she said, casual, dismissive, like I was invisible. Like I wasn't standing there carrying bruises from battles no one cared enough to ask about. Grandpa fell silent. Too silent. The kind of silence that settles into the floorboards and swallows the entire room. His eyes locked on mine, unblinking. He knew something was off. And I knew this was the moment everything I'd buried was about to claw its way out. What my mother didn't realize was that this wasn't about a car. It was about a pattern, one I'd watched play out my whole life. But the real breaking point, the moment the threads began to unravel, came the night I found my own sister sneaking out of my apartment with my keys in her fist and my perfume dusted across her wrist. I had trusted her. I had loved her. But betrayal, real betrayal, always arrives through the people you let closest. When we were younger, she trailed behind me like a shadow. Mom adored her. Grandpa's second granddaughter, though she always acted like the first. I gave her everything, my notes, my clothes, my dreams. When I got the BMW for my birthday, she screamed louder than I did. Or so I thought. Maybe that wasn't excitement. Maybe it was envy stretching itself awake, reaching for something to claim. The first warning sign was tiny. My finance app flagged transactions I never made. At first, I assumed I'd miscounted. Then I noticed the missing earrings. Then the designer bag. But the message, the one that synced to my iPad by mistake, that was the strike that broke everything. A text from her to her friend. I deserve her stuff. She doesn't even use half of it. Mom says it's fine anyway. Deserve. That single word lit my blood like gasoline. They weren't just taking from me. They believed they were entitled to it. So when the BMW vanished from the basement garage, I didn't explode. I went still. Very still. Silence is dangerous. People confuse it with weakness. But silence is where strategies form. I didn't confront them. Didn't yell. Didn't shed a tear. Instead, I studied every missing item, every justification, every accomplice. I collected screenshots, receipts, loan papers, and the CCTV clip of my sister driving my car. I didn't want revenge at first. I wanted justice. But in a family like mine, justice required planning. Step 1. 2 weeks before today, I visited my grandfather alone. I didn't accuse anyone. I simply asked him to review the family property accounts, especially the one he'd set aside for me years ago. I saw the flicker in his gaze. Suspicion. Calculation. Step 2. I sent him every document and every piece of proof, not as accusations, framed as confusing errors I needed his help to understand. My grandfather despised 2 things: misuse of his money and lies in his family. Step 3. I calmly notified the bank that the BMW had been taken without authorization. No drama, just procedure. Step 4, I waited. The most devastating revenge is the kind carried out with patience. And now here we were, back in the present. My mother still wearing that sharp, practiced smile. My sister behind her performing innocence. Grandpa's silence thickened until it nearly hummed. He leaned forward, eyes fixed on my sister. So the car is hers now, he asked, voice low. Too low. My mother nodded proudly. That pride cracked the instant Grandpa pulled out the folder I had sent him. Receipts, bank statements, screenshots, CCTV stills. He laid them out like a judge presenting evidence. Interesting, he said quietly, because according to this, she has taken more than a car. My mother's face drained of color. My sister's hand shook. He didn't yell. He didn't interrogate. He simply declared, from today forward, everything in her name is revoked. Every asset, every allowance, every card. And the BMW, he paused, met my eyes, returns to its rightful owner. My sister's mouth opened, but nothing came out. My mother tried to protest, but Grandpa lifted his hand. Not a gesture, a command. You stepped into my role behind my back, he said. You decided what I should decide. That ends now. The room fell silent again. But this time, the silence wasn't mine. It was theirs. I walked out with my keys back in my hand. Their eyes trailed after me like shadows losing the person they followed. I didn't smile. I didn't turn around. Revenge isn't loud. It isn't flames. It's gravity, quiet, relentless, unavoidable. Grandpa's final words echoed behind me. If anyone takes from her again, they answer to me. For the first time in years, I felt light. Not because the car was returned, but because they finally understood what I learned long ago. You can take my things, but you will never take my silence, because silence is where I sharpen my justice.